3 or 4 years ago, I preached first. It was first time through this text, and then I preached again last year, January 1st. This is the third time about this text. So I will ask you, do you remember?
What is in your hands?
Okay. I mean, we know Moses was a great servant of God. But if we see the text, God called 3 times, you must go, you must go, you must go, but he refused, no, I cannot do it 3 times. Why? New members, okay, you cannot know, but old members, you must remember. If we see the Bible, so we must know why he refused.
Let me speak in.
Before,
No, in tongue.
now, before what happened, and then now he met God, and then God told him, but he refused. Why? We must know his first life. According to the Bible, he stayed in Egypt 40 years. And then he killed one person, and then he ran away. So he stayed in the field 40 years. And then he went back to Egypt again. And then he came out together with all Israel people. So he stayed in the desert again 40 years. Who is Idro?
Jethro.
His father-in-law. But according to the Bible, he was a priest. So Moses, he came out Egypt, and then he was in the desert. And then he got married here. His father-in-law was a priest, Idro. According to the Bible, his name is Idro. Then what kind of priest? Because all Israel people, they were in Egypt. Then still Israel people in Egypt, they were staying in Egypt, and then he ran away. So no Israel people in the desert. Okay? But he met, he got married, and then his father-in-law was a priest. So what kind of priest? And then his wife's name, Moses got married, and then his wife's name is Shipporah. So her father was a priest. So he knew about the customs or the word of God. Later I will explain about that one. Then why they knew God? Why in the desert all Israel people were in Israel but outside? Why there were priests. Except Israel people who can know God, who knows God in the desert. We can, okay, Israel, all Israel people were in Egypt, then who is their ancestor? Jacob. Jacob, and then his descendant, he had 12
Son.
children, and then all of his descendants, they were staying in Egypt. Then whose brother?
So.
Who is Jacob's brother?
Esau.
Esau. Esau.
Esau.
In
Esau.
Korean, we call him Esau. Esau and Jacob, huh? They learn, even Jacob, Esau, he learned the word also from parents. But his descendants were living in the desert, not Egypt. Only in Egypt, only the Jacob's descendants, they moved. But Esau, he didn't move. So we can think, anyway, the descendants of Esau, they knew God, and then the Yitro was the descendants of Esau. Anyway, we don't know. Anyway, he made the one priest, the Yitro. So we can know some of them, anyway, they worship God. But in the Bible, there is no record clearly. According to the Bible, he stayed in Egypt 40 years, and then later he realized he's a Hebrew also. So he decided, okay, I will work for God. I will save my people from Egypt. At the time, his age was 40 years. So he tried, and then before I told all you, and then already all things are in Bible, but I will look for the Bible because only short time. So he decided to start to work for God when he was 40 years. But he did not know God well. Anyway, I am a descendant of Jacob, and then I belong to Israel people. He knew that one. But he did not know God well. Because in today's text, God called Moses. But Moses is asking, what is your name? You are sending me to Egypt. So how can I explain? If they ask me, who sent you to Egypt? Who sent you to save Israel people? Then what can I answer? So God said, I am who I am. I am who I am. So Moses, he did not know about God well. So we can compare our situation. We believe in God. We believe in God. So we think we know God well, but how much we know God's word? And then, even if he does not know well, anyway, he wanted to work for Israel people. He gave up all things. His position was a prince in the royal family of Egypt, but he gave up all things. how much did you give up for God? What did you give up for God? Moses' case, even the position of prince, he gave up all. He gave up all of his luxurious life and then the high position, he abandoned all. But he failed. Why? There is reason. First, as a prince, he was well educated. So he used his wisdom. And then, according to his wisdom, he went out. He watched. There are many Israel people were there. Almost 2 million or 3 million Israel people. Then we must know at that time 3 million or 2 million is very big amount, very big how? Very many persons. About 500 years ago, the Korean population was 2 million. But around 4,000 or 3,500 years ago, 2 million or 3 million, then it is very big country. So, and then they were slaves. So their body is very strong. Anyway, this kind of people, if we fight against Egypt, I can say that we can win against Egypt. So one day he went out again, and then one Egyptian, he had some trouble with Israel people. So secretly he followed and then he killed him.
The Egyptian.
Hit him one time, but he died. So his body is very strong. He is well educated, and then his body is very strong, and then he had very strong people, Israel people, and then he did not rely on God. But really he wanted to work for God, so he gave up all things and then he tried to do his best. But what is the result? Fail. Because when he was 40 years old, but he failed. Because at first, he did not rely on God. He did not pray, and he does not know the word of God, and then only he wanted to work for God according to his knowledge and according to his wisdom, and then use his power, and then he relied on the Israel people. So, failed. First time, failed. And second time. So at that time, God called. Before he was very strong, 40 years old, very strong. Now, 8 years old already. At that time, God called Moses, you must go to Egypt. You must, what you have in your hand, only the rod, the staff. So you must throw it on the ground. It became a snake. And then you must hold again. It became a rod again. You must put your hand in your bosom. And then take out. It was leprous. So put again and then healthy again. God showed many miracles, but he thought, before I was strong, but now I am very weak. Already I am relying on my step, and then 8 years old. before I used my knowledge and my wisdom, but failed. The strong body no more. And then before he relied on Israel people, but they betrayed his Moses. So they informed to Egyptian, Moses killed one Egyptian. He relied on Israel people, the Israel people, they did not accept Moses, and then they informed to Egyptians. So he cannot rely on Israel people anymore. Then how can he lead all Israel people? Nothing. So he thought he cannot do anything. So still he does not know God. He does not know God. So we must use, I mean, he wanted to work for God, but even if he wants, he lost all the power, wisdom, and then the Israel people. So he has nothing. So at the time God called, so he refused. Lord, I cannot do it. But God called again. Why? If God called him when he was 40 years old, then, okay, Lord, I can do it. I am very strong, and then we have many people. Okay, I will do it. He will answer to God like that. But at that time, God did not appear to him. When he was 80 years old, when he has nothing, he was very weak. At that time, God called. So, how about you must think about yourself. Before, did you experience some failure in your life?
Yeah.
Or no? Always successful. If you think always, Pastor, always my business successful. Whatever I do, always my income was very big. And then now I am in Korea still, I have no problem. Then very sorry, you cannot meet God anymore. But if you are Pastor, whatever I do, always I fail. I have nothing. And then even my visa illegal. So I don't know when I will go back to Philippines. I cannot do anything. Then it is a good chance to meet God in your life. Because you cannot do anything. So you will rely on God. If God called Moses in this time, he did not rely on God. But now, this time, God called him. So, if we see the Exodus, Moses did not decide anything. If God command, you must go, and then go. You must stop, then stop. Go back again, then go back again. Go this way, then go this way. Always he obeyed the word of God. Why? Already he experienced. He used his wisdom, but all failed. So he had no other choice. Always he obeyed the word of God. So he could save all Israel people, and then his ministry was successful in front of God. So, what do you have in your hand? So, when God called Moses, you must go. No, I cannot do anything. I have nothing. So, at the time God called Moses, what do you have in your hand? What do you have in your hand? Only rocks. So always God used that rod. Brother Dick, God calling you at that. How much do you have, Dick? Only $10,000. Then God will ask you to walk with $10,000. Lord, I have only $10,000. It is not enough. You must prepare $100,000. No, if we see the Bible, always what we have, God used that one. But usually, what is our answer? Lord, if I prepare a little more, if I save a little more, then I will work for you. But if we see the Bible, God did not use rich persons. God did not use the powerful persons. So there were several thousand persons. Maybe some of them they have some amount in the bucket, or among the several thousand, but they did not offer it in front of God. Only one little child, Lord, I have my bound 5 loaves of bread and then 2 fishes. In English it is fish, but in original Bible, the meaning is very small fish. So we can know his parents is very poor, because in Israel, according to their customs, if the fishers, if they catch the fish, they separate. Good fish, the big one, separate for sale and then for their lives. And then the small one, they throw out. Then the poor person, they picked up that one. So they threw out for the poor persons. And the child, he brought such kind of very small fish. And then God made, there was a big miracle. So even if you have nothing, and even if your life is, Pastor, always I feel, then it is a good chance to meet Jesus Christ in your life. Amen.
Amen.
So in front of God, when we come in front of God, there is no condition. No condition. Always we make condition. Lord, if, and usually in Korea, Lord, if I pass the lawyer exam, bar exam, and then the doctor exam, if I finish this one, at that time I will attend. Pastor, very sorry, I have a very important thing. So if I finish this one, then I will go to church. Then delay. So now God wants to meet you in your life. And then now God is asking you, don't worry anything. And then what do you have in your hand? Okay, I will ask you, what do you have in your hand? Cell phone. Okay, what do you have in your cell phone? What did you know there? Look at the Bible, Awil chapter 23. Awil chapter 23. Chapter 3, verse 4. You can read. Nobody?
Mga awit. chapter 23, verse 4.
Hmm.
Oo, bagaman ako'y lumalakad sa libis ng lilim ng kamatayan, wala akong katatakutan, kasamaan, sapagkat ikaw ay sumasa akin. Ang iyong pamalo at ang iyong tungkod ay nagsisialiw sa akin.
Hmm. Okay. The God's wrath will guide me and then it will comfort me. And then in the Bible is comparing the word of God as a staff or as a rod.
And
So what do you have in your hand? We have a staff. What is it? The word of God, the Bible. The Bible. So look at the Bible in today's text. Exodus chapter 4 verse 1. Chapter 4 verse 20. Please read it again. Verse 20.
And Moses took his wife and his son, and set them upon an ass. And he returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the robe of God in his hand.
Okay.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 20.
Oh.
And Moses took his wife and his sons, and set them upon an ass. And he returned to the land of Egypt, and Moses took the robe of God in his hand.
Oh. Whose rod?
Wrath of God.
God.
In the beginning, God asked Moses, "What do you have in your hand?" It is a rod. And then in today's text, the Exodus was written by Moses. But Moses wrote there, the rod is the rod of God. Before it was Moses' rod, but now Moses is confessing, this rod is not my rod, it is God's rod. So God used this one. It is very important. Even if we are very talented, even if we have many talents, I can sing very well, and then I can do many things very well. But this is my voice. Then God will not use your voice. Okay, it is your voice. Lord, I have nothing, but I will offer my voice. Then it is God's voice from the time God will use that one. Lord, what do you have in your hand? My rod. But when he decided to go back to Egypt, and then he accompanied his family, and then he hold the rod of God. So even the rod, the owner is changed. Before Moses' rod, not now God is the owner of the rod. Before there was 5 loaves of 2 fishes, but the children he offered, so God used that one. So what do we have? What we have in what belong to me? If we offer that one as in front of God, then God will use this one.
And
In Philippines, one member came to me, Pastor, why my mother pig got a verse, and then I got the 8 piglets, baby pigs. So I will offer 1 piglet to church. Okay, it is up to you. But we feed it continuously until it was grown more than 10 months, and then later we killed in Christmas season. But still, she said, it is mine, so I will distribute to the members. Then it is not offering. It is not offering. So if we offer even small one voluntarily in front of them, God will use that one. So Moses lost many things, all things, and then even the position and then the power, all things, he had nothing anymore. But only the dry wood remained. But God used, Lord, I have only this one. So God used that one. When Moses thought, okay, this is the wrath of God. So from that time, God used that rod, and then so when they came out from Egypt, He used that one, and then the Red Sea was separated. So from the beginning to the end, always God used the rod. So in front of God, anyway, the most important thing is our heart, our mind. How much we learn, or how much we have, or how intelligent we are, how smart, it is nothing. It is nothing in front of God. So if you had many failures before, have a courage again. You can start again because of God. Amen.
Amen.
So if our situation is very bad, then it is a good chance to experience God's power in our lives.
Amen.
So I want all of you to have a good experience of God in your life. Amen.
Amen.
Let's pray. Our Lord, thank you very much for your graces for our lives. Lord, we are here in this world, and we want to listen, and we want to understand your will, and also we want to follow you. But sometimes we don't understand your will, and then sometimes even if we know, we don't follow you. Please forgive our weakness, and then please guide us in the right way in front of you. And then let us experience your power in our lives. And then let us serve you with your power. And then let us give our hearts in front of you. We pray in Jesus Christ's name.
Amen.
Amen.